Yeah, we on from Louisville, Kentucky, Saturday night, usual live stream, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's where I'm at.
I'll be gone for a week.
Sticker granddaughter's going to
Myrtle Beach.
Myrtle Beach for a week. Sticker kid, sticker teenager's in the house. How you doing, sticker teenager?
Terrible.
Terrible?
Yeah.
Thumbs up.
No.
Who's on your shirt?
Don't touch me.
What do you call that?
Don't touch me.
All right, I'm going to do a few trivia questions to give away these. This live stream is sponsored by T-Shirt Express.
Sponsor.
Out of Staten Island, New York. He gave me some shirts to give away tonight. I got this in several sizes. Roll up and watch STICKERMANIA. And I got this Beatles cartoons dressed up for help. This is an extra large.
Polly Hawaii said, "Hi, STICKERMANIA family and everyone watching. Give a like."
How you doing, Polly?
Records and Trains said hi.
How you doing, Record and Trains?
A Little Vita's Corner said hello.
How you doing, Patricia?
Thomas Crook said hello, everybody.
How you doing, Thomas Crook? So I'm going to do a sealed, I bought this sealed 1970s UK Beatles for Sale stereo pressing. It's an import factory sealed. I'm going to do a sealed reveal tonight on this. So that'll be pretty nice. Pretty intrigued to see if it's a -1, -2 cut or later cutting by Harry T. Moss. Notice behind me, finally got this today. It took a month to get here. 5.5 by 4 foot on poster on a foam board. Large picture of girls in the audience on August 15th, 1965 at Shea Stadium. This girl right here with the camera, Valerie V. She lived in College Point, New York. That's how I got this photo from her estate. And her dad must have been a professional photographer. You can see she's got a camera there. And look at all these are all her friends. They're all in the first couple rows there. And the girl over there on the right has got a Beatle button that says, "I'm a Beatles fan in case of emergency. Call Paul or Ringo." This girl over here. Before these girls were backstage when the Beatles were in the dressing room and got photos with the Beatles. I didn't win that part of the auction, but her dad must have had a lot of connections to get a picture with the 4 Beatles, four of her friends. You see the binoculars that they rented for $1 a piece. And what else? They almost all have binoculars. And they're all having a time of their life.
Maybe they should get glasses.
Some of them do have glasses. What do you think of that big poster there? That's pretty amazing.
Danny Goldstein said, "Hi, folks," and incredible photo.
All right, it is. It took me forever to get it. Cost $225 to get it shipped from UPS. It took a month to get here.
T-Shirt Express said, "Hi, Sticker family."
How you doing, T-Shirt Express? Thanks for sponsoring our live stream tonight.
Dave Evans said, "How's it going, Sticker family?"
What are we going to do first? The trivia questions or the sealed reveal?
How about we answer?
Oh, I can show a few more things.
Yeah, sure.
Okay. Dave Evans asked, "How is it going?"
How's it going, Dave Evans?
Danny Goldstein said those are filled level seats and Shea.
Field level seats, so would that be like the first couple rows? Because it looks like it.
I mean, yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, he says photos like they taken from the field and then do Greg Field.
Greg Greg Fio said, "Hi Frank, before you get going, quick question. Got a -5 rubber sole hazel Yarwood vinyl?" He's asking that.
I have one, but it's not that great a shape. My nice one, Wolfie Baby bought the one I had that was in very good plus condition. How you doing there, Wolfie Baby out there? All right, I got this in yesterday. We're talking about the first Led Zeppelin album ever released in the world, stock copy. This was leftover labels from late 1968. Came out January 1969. They say the mix is a little bit different on side one. This was pressed in Presswell in New Jersey. And on side two, you got bands in between the songs, Black Mountain Side and Communication Breakdown. There's about an 8-second break in between songs. And all the regular pressings, they don't have that. Very first album. This was released 2 months before the Turquoise in England. And then to show you the record label, this is the common record label in the United States. And this is the real rare label.
He said mono.
No, they're both stereo.
Okay. I think he was asking mono.
Led Zeppelin was never released in mono unless you had some DJ copies that were mixed in mono.
Okay, John Wilkie's Booth said, "Do you have the Louise Harrison album?"
I've had it several times. I don't have it right now.
Okay, how about the Hey Man's Green album by Pete Best Band?
I don't buy Pete Best albums. Sorry.
Okay.
Unless he's backing up the other three Beatles.
Yeah, I feel like that was...
Like the Germany first pressing of My Bonnie. I've had that several times. So that's pretty amazing. This album is in the shrink. And the record is pretty valuable. A few years ago, somebody sold one in near mint condition for $2,500. Very first Led Zeppelin album, stock copy ever released in the world, is right there. What do you think of that, Sticker Kid?
Don't touch me.
All right, that was my Led Zeppelin thing. Let's do a Rolling Stones thing. So the Jimmy Page and Peter Grant went to New York to talk to the president of Atlantic Records to make that deal to get on Atlantic Records, and they negotiated real hard, and they got more than they've ever given an artist before up front, and that was in New York. And then they pressed that, the first pressing in Newark, New Jersey, which wasn't too far from where the where the Atlantic Records headquarters was there in 1969. But I'm sure that was probably negotiated in late 1968.
Dave Evans was asking the price of that Led Zeppelin.
Led Zeppelin, that is in... The cover is in very good plus condition. It's in the shrink. It's got a little wear on the back. The record is no spindle hole wear. I played it once. It's got to be in excellent condition, the record. I made the deal real quick a couple weeks ago. Somebody bought a estate sale and they didn't realize what they had. I would sell that for $750 of Led Zeppelin.
Okay. Greg Theo said he likes your shirts.
Likes the shirts?
His. That one.
Sticker
Don't ever
kids?
compliment or share it again.
All right, we got the
Records,
first. Go ahead.
Records and Trends. So, what's your opinion on the 2012 stereo Beatles pressing?
I don't listen to any more Beatle albums pressed after 1980.
Okay.
I do have some 2012 remasters that are pressed in Germany that are pretty good, but ever since the debacle of Let It Be Naked, I don't have it in the room here. I'm just focusing on early pressings. This is a 1971 first press of Rolling Stones Hot Rocks. In the shrink, the gatefold cover has never been opened up. Why do you think this is a valuable Rolling Stones album when they made millions of these Hot Rocks? Got the insert, 211 reasons why the Rolling Stones is the world's greatest rock and roll band. Because on side 4, this record's only been played once. It was open sealed. On side 4, it's got a matrix of 11/18/71 Shelley, which means the 2 songs Brown Sugar and Wild Horses are outtakes. It was a mistake that got released for the first few days before they realized it. Very first pressing of Rolling Stone Hot Rocks with the outtakes of Brown Sugar and Wild Horses from 1971. Pretty rare Rolling Stones album. All right, let's do the sealed reveal. Anybody want to give me offers on this Beatles for sale and buy it before I open it? The price on it now is $100. After I open it, and if it's a tube cup -1, the price is $200. You either have to buy it before I open it up or wait to see if it's a tube cut or not.
Alright, give him a second. You could do one of the shirt giveaways.
Alright, let's do a shirt giveaway first. Let's see, what shirt we gonna give away first? Trivia questions. Let's continue on my butcher cover
Stop
trivia
touching me
questions.
every single second.
I'm just saying, can you show the butcher cover sheet shirt before I give this away? Give over here in the middle. Show them how tall you are now. 5'8". Good job. All right, we're gonna give up the roll up and watch Stickermania. If you win this, you can get it in a medium, a large, or an extra large. Give me my misters.
This one?
No.
This one?
Them. So if you win this, we'll show this again, Mr_Stickermania@yahoo.com. That's how you get a hold of me. Here's the 3 easier questions than the other night on the butcher cover.
Danny asked, is that shirt a first state or third state? Laugh out loud.
I would say it's a first date.
Okay.
Why is this?
All right, here we go. Okay. I probably did this the other day, but if you listen, then you know the answer to this. Which prototype butcher cover was made first? The trunk cover or the butcher cover? That's question 1. Question 2. What exact day in May was the promo film for Paperback Writer filmed for the Ed Sullivan Show? And you can see Paul looking at the photo transparencies of the butcher cover, but at the beginning of the promo video. What day in May was the promo film of Paperback Writer and Rain filmed for the Ed Sullivan Show? Number 3, how many weeks was yesterday and today number 1 on the Billboard USA charts, on the album charts? How many weeks in a row was yesterday and today at number 1? To win this shirt.
T-shirt Express said it's actually a Rarities gatefold version, talking about
The rarities. Yeah, I had the poster for the rarities with that butcher cover slick. Questions again. Number 1. Which prototype yesterday and today was created first? The trunk cover or the butcher cover? Question 2. What day, exact day in May in 1966 was the promo film for, or videotape for the Ed Sullivan Show, a paperback writer, where you can see at the beginning Paul looking at transparencies of the butcher cover photos from the photo shoot. Number 3, last question. How many weeks was yesterday and today number 1 on the Billboard charts?
Danny Goldstein. He's got first answer.
All right, let me see. I can't see.
None of them are loaded.
Alright, today Goldstein says the trunk cover, May 19th and 5 weeks.
He's pretty dang close.
Greg Fio said Butcher, May...
No, that's wrong.
Patricia said Butcher, May 19th,
That's wrong.
5 weeks. Barbara said Trunk, May 20th, 5 weeks.
Let's give it to to Danny.
Why? Because then Daniel can see.
Because the 19th or 20th, it's. I say it was the 20th, but it could have been the 19th.
Well, he did say the 20th now,
Yeah.
so alright, so we'll give it to him.
Daniel Costello.
No, Danny Goldstein.
Danny Goldstein wins the.
They finally all just
Roll up and watch.
They said
Mr.
Barbara
Stickermania.
had it next, but if you were gonna give, because she's the first one that said the 9th or the 20th, but Danny said the 19th, May 19th, and then he said the 20th afterwards, but Barbara did say it before.
Well, we can give the 2 of them away. We'll give it to Barbara and Danny. You have to. I know both of your shipping addresses. Send me an email what size you want. Medium, large, or extra large. So the trunk cover was the first prototype cover. It was all ready to start being made. And Paul McCartney pretty much changed it when he said he wanted the butcher cover.
Barbara said thank you.
So on the day in May, I looked it up. It was the 20th when they filmed the promo film for Paperback Writer, but it could have been the 19th. I know they were filming. They might have filmed one kind of Paperback Writer video where they were out in the field, out in the park on the 19th, and then the other one for Ed Sullivan on the 20th.
Barbara said she'll take the extra large.
That's what this is here. And I think I have another extra large. How many weeks was yesterday and today at number 1 on the Billboard charts? 5 weeks. So they made their money back for the $250,000 that they lost. Good job, guys. Good job.
Danny said something about giving it to the Elliott kid his, but I don't know. I mean, that's up to you, Danny. I mean, Danny Goldstein.
So send me a message of what you want, who you want me to send it to. All right, that one is done.
That Elliott kid, that was the one with the...
Let's do the opening for the Beatles for sale.
Workers and Trains?
No, the other one, the Elliott kid that was in
Oh.
All right. Any takers on this last chance before I open it up at $100? You can't buy it at $100 once I open it up, but you can if it's not a -1 2 cup. Here we go. Been sealed for close to 50 years. That's what they did. They brought the UK presses over to Gem Records in a couple places in New York and big cities, and they would factory seal them and sell them as imports.
Danny Goldstein said if it's a cheap cut, he'll buy it for $200.
All right. Well, that's a deal. He gets it first if it's a tube cut. Here we go. Be careful, Frank.
Be careful, Frank.
Johnny Ramone said the butcher cover was released first. for the Beatles yesterday and the day
The
album.
butcher cover was not first in the
And
prototype.
then we
Look it up.
called
Look
and
on Bruce
replaced
Spicer.
the trunk cover.
Look in the Bruce Spicer book. He has a whole chapter on how the trunk covers were made
figured.
first. Let's show the poster of the trunk cover. Here we go. Here is the trunk cover slick, made before the butcher cover slick. And it got released on the 8-track tape, that little purple slick. Can you show that purple slick? Yesterday and today with the purple slick.
Yesterday and today.
Down here. See it?
Oh, that one. Okay, I got you. I was like, what are you talking about?
That was created before the butcher cover, and Paul McCartney changed the direction. All right, back to opening this up.
Okay, open it.
Yeah.
That's not what happened to my.
Let me just say it. Take on that thing. Skylar's got it.
No, you don't.
Yeah, that's what it is. He's small. That's what it is.
Way to go, sticker kid. That's the funniest thing you've done all night.
Exactly. Some kind of entertainment. He hit it like that guy went. Look, he's standing there.
Alright, let's see if we can open this up. These are, it's like made like a unipack, so it's different than the normal Beatles for sale.
And Greg said it's on the internet, so it must be true.
What is?
I don't know, whatever he's trying
He's
to
trying
say.
to say the butcher cover was a
I don't
prototype.
know. Trunk was first, is what he said.
The trunk was first, yes. The trunk was first, not the butcher cover. Bruce Spicer is the one that did all the research on it. Interviewed Alan Livingston on the last year of his life in 2002, and the whole story came out.
Danny Goldstein said he went back and caught you, sticker kid. He saw you steal the blade on the string.
I don't.
He rewound it and
I don't.
We better just take this off because this is a different type of cover than the normal gatefold cover. It's a unipack. All right, here we go. Unipack. 50 years old. Here is the record. 1986. It can't be a tube cut, I doubt it. Minus, and Danny's not going to want this one. -2 and a -6. So, can't win every time. Price on that, never played a Beatles for sale, is $100 if somebody's interested. It's not the tube cut.
he said shoot.
All right, you never know, you never know. So it was only sealed for 439 years at a 1986 pressing. All right, butcher cover. While we're talking about a butcher cover, because I had to wait around today for the photo to show up for UPS, I did not get the butcher cover peeled today. Hopefully I'll get it done for Wednesday. I want to do one, but I want to do it right.
Everyone give a like if Frank is the best.
East Coast, excellent condition. Second state mono butcher cover. So they made twice as many of these as they did the West Coast, but as time goes on and more East Coast get peeled, there are many more West Coast on the internet for sale, 5-to-1 over the East Coast.
Greg Field said Perry Cox just listed near.
Yes, I saw it. I saw the Perry Cox.
Okay.
This is the West Coast.
Is it?
This is the East Coast. This is just as good a shape as Perry Cox. Perry Cox has a foxing spot down there, and he's got a couple pinched corners, and this does not have it. It's got one bump corner.
Matthew Farmer said, good to see you collect the Beatles. I collect the Beatles and the Beach Boys LP records. Didn't he used to collect Beach Boys?
Yeah, I got some Beach Boys. Beach Boys, question for you. How many times more are Beach Boys being streamed now since Brian Wilson has passed on? It's increased almost 400%. And Pet Sounds is in the top 200 on the USA charts. First time in 60 years. This is not original 1966 where you start sending me offers. This is a later reissue.
These shirts are good quality.
So when this album came out and only went to 10 on the USA charts, Capitol Records got kind of upset that Brian Wilson was taking the Beach Boys in the wrong direction. So they rushed released this album here of The Best of the Beach Boys Volume 1. This is original first pressing from 1966 and the original inner sleeve. And it's on the Duophonic Starline label. So Pet Sounds went to number 2 in the United Kingdom. They understood that it was a great album, that the USA, we couldn't figure it out. It only went to 10 and then dropped real quick off the charts. All right.
Shirt's nicely folded. Okay. Matthew
right.
said, okay, I see, thanks. Dom233 said, I'm seeing Pet Sounds LPs on eBay have doubled in the hundreds since.
They've doubled. I sealed one, I think, sold for close to $500 the other day. Some things I sold lately.
Dom233 said the rest of the catalog is still fairly priced secondhand albums of VJ++.
What is? Oh, Pet Sound?
Yeah. Or
So my sealed BC 13 box set I had that was from 1978, a limited edition numbered. One of the first 3,000 I sold for $2,000 and went out in the mail today. I sold a set of Yardbird autographs from 1966, including Jimmy Page, for $799 a couple days ago. My Cow Palace ticket to see the Beatles in 1965. They had the Beatles on the ticket stub instead of the just the little stub. This is a Shea Stadium. So somebody asked me the other day, they thought that I had copies of them and I wasn't selling the real thing because they got ticket number 5 and this is ticket number 6 side by side. I sold 5 to international sale for $400 a few weeks ago, and now I got the next seat number 6 on sale on my STICKERMANIA 2853 eBay store. What else? I sold my Revolver 1977 Germany, went out, and pressings, audiophile pressing went out in the mail today for $150. And my sealed Who Tommy from 1970 with the hype sticker went out for $188. And a couple days ago I sold one of my Abbey Roads with the misaligned apple in very good plus condition for $144. All right, we ready for the other trivia question contest?
if you want.
Have you done all the comments?
Yeah, I think so. Alexa, the Matthew Farmer, I got someone's collection years ago for free. You said I'll listen to him no more, so I'll take him. How much will you sell the Butcher for now and then after the pill?
The Butcher cover,
Yeah, that Matthew, that was different.
as a second state, I would want $2,000 for it before I peel it. I would have to know and be paid before tomorrow before I peel it. $2,000 not peeled, and then when I peel it, if I get the trunk slick off and have an excellent peel, it will be more expensive than that.
Okay, Greg Theo said, watch Love and Mercy story of Brian Wilson.
That's a good video. Or documentary, Love and Mercy. The Rick Vieto did a 20-minute video. He got back from vacation. He did a 20-minute video on the genius of Brian Wilson and got the song God Only Knows. Check out, there's a video, it's a regular song video of Carl Wilson. He's in a little restaurant, and towards the end of his life, he sings God Only Knows with all of his might and soul. It's pretty good. Carl Wilson singing God Only Knows. All right, trivia questions to win. The Beatles Help cartoon shirt. That's an extra large only. Got this from courtesy of T-Shirt Express. If you want this, get a hold of T-Shirt Express, and I'm sure he can make you one, but it will cost money. That's a trivia question. T-Shirt Express. His phone number is 718-494-7240.
Greg Theo says, where's Chaperone today? On my hat. Right
Chaperone, I don't know where she is in touring. She's number 4 in the United Kingdom with Pink Pony Club. It's still selling. Number 1 is Ordinary by Alex Warren. Number 2 is Man-Child by Sabrina Carpenter, and number 3 is my favorite new song. That's an 11-year-old song. I think it's going to be the song of the summer. Raven Lene with Love Me Not. Check out that song. It's a banger for all time. Love Me Not by Raven Lene. Wow, what a song. And Benson Boone's new album, I think it's called Bodybuilder, came out Friday. Came out yesterday. All right, where's my trivia question sticker? You got to hit somewhere. You took my trivia question.
Mm-hmm.
Do you know where they're at?
No.
Well, you did something with them. Can I have a plate?
It's somewhere.
Oh, can you hand them to me so I can see?
Maybe stand up and look at your seat.
How does that happen?
I don't know. Don't touch me.
All right. To win this T-shirt, it's concerning the Shea Stadium concert from August 15th, 1965. This big photo I got behind me. You can tell that it was packed all the way to the top of the stadium. You can tell that on the top of the photo. In 1966, there were a lot of empty seats up there towards the top. Here are the questions. What famous rock star walked with the Beatles from their dressing room to the dugout before they came out onto the field? There was one famous rock star that walked side by side with the Beatles. Number 2, what future Beatles wife was in the audience as a teenager? And number 3, what song in the concert video, the TV special of the Beatles at Shea Stadium, what Beatles song that they perform is just a complete studio track and not the live version? Because I couldn't come up with a good live version of that song. It's just a complete studio track with audience on top of it. What song in the concert, the Beatles concert at Shea Stadium on August 15th, 1965? Let me say it one more time. What famous rock star walked with the Beatles from the dressing room to the dugout before the Beatles came out onto the field? Number 2, what future Beatles wife was in the audience when she was a teenager? Number 3, what song in the concert It's just a complete studio track and not a live version in the TV special. Any answers? That is wrong, Daniel. Polly, nope. Thomas Crook. Got it. Thomas Crook, you're the winner. Mick Jagger. And Linda McCartney. And Act Naturally. Good jobs. Thomas Crook. Thomas Crook, I don't know if I have your mailing address.
We sent him something before. Maybe he could send us another message.
Send your address if it would help. Mr_Stickermania@yahoo.com. We have to send you an extra large. Hope that's okay on that shirt. Good job. Didn't take long on that. That was not too tough. All right, you're in charge of folding the shirts there, dear.
I had it folded, so you unfolded it.
Uncle Paul said he was busy tonight, so he couldn't watch us live. Shout out to Uncle Paul from Uncle Paul's Beatles Pop Playhouse.
Oh, I miss my friend.
Woohoo.
Who are you?
Shout out to Kevin from Kevin Records. He's the one that got a hold of that big photo for me, and I had to get it at his house today. He's got a... If you pull up Kevin Records on the internet, you can see his store.
Thomas, your shirt is folded perfectly.
And Mr. Stickermania, that is my business card.
Give me.
Matthew, I'm not bored. I was trying to fold a shirt. I don't know about him. And he said, looks like you have a really nice collection.
Thanks.
You're
I
welcome.
work at it pretty hard. Probably 25 years ago, I thought that the things that were for sale on Goldmine and everything wasn't that great, wasn't that rare. So I said, I'm going to create a eBay store that I would like to shop at. And so I've been on eBay for about 19 years.
Danny Goldstone.
Danny Goldstein said, I didn't think it could be Linda because she was 24 when the Shay concert took place.
And so 24. She was 24 in 1965. I'm sorry I missed it, but she was in the audience. I thought she was only 19, but I guess she was older than I thought when she married Paul in 1969. She was older than Paul when they married? That sounds hard to figure out.
He said you tricked him because she wasn't a teenager.
Patty Boyd was not at the Shea Stadium concert. As far as I know. Maybe I misled you a little bit. Sorry about that.
Well, better luck next time.
World Without Love. I said that was the first 45 I ever had. So I got a hold of this album from Kevin Records. Would you cool with there, buddy? We're not playing footsies here.
I don't care.
So this is a mono first press from 1964, A World Without Love. It's got the correct, for our young record, is it Elliot that's interested in these inner sleeves? The correct late 1964 inner sleeve. Today I bought I got one in an auction, a sheet music of World Without Love that's was signed by Peter Gordon and Peter, I'll say that right, Peter Asher and Gordon Waller. Gordon's probably been gone a long, long time. 1968, sealed Beatles switchplate cover of Yellow Submarine.
Switchblade.
The only ones I like of the Yellow Submarine items are the ones that have the 4 Beatles on it. I'm not too big on getting the Blue Minis or the Apple Bunkers or all the other characters. I like them with the 4 Beatles on it. This is factory sealed from 1968. I had this before, probably 30 years ago.
Who wants an ASMR video?
No.
Here's Chapel Roan.
You.
Does it look cute, y'all?
Where's the lanyard to go with it? This is a sign
Right here. It was on the
from
neck.
Cincinnati on
It's on the back.
March 10th. Stay out of my pockets, please.
I want money.
Money. March 10th, 2024, when the Chaperone played at the Cincinnati Andrew Brady Music Center. They sold out the show, and the demand was so high they had to move her to a bigger arena.
Did you ask about two people?
Talking about Brian Wilson,
Peter and Gordon, Chad and Jeremy.
Chad and Jeremy. I like the summer song, a few songs. Will a Weep for Me. This is a song that got Brian Wilson in a lot of trouble with his dad. Surf City, the first Brian Wilson wrote song, went to #1 for Jan and Dean. If you listen to this song, it's got Brian Wilson on the background vocals. He's all over this song. Surf City, what a great song. Alright, what else did I not show? Here's the original ad for the Beach Boys at the Hollywood Bowl from, what is the date? July 3rd of 1965. And look at the people that played on the show. You had the Beach Boys, you had the Sham and the Pharaohs, the Byrds, the Kinks, Sir Douglas Quintet, Donna Lauren, Dino, Desi, and Billy when they were about 11 to 13 years old, the Righteous Brothers, E.M. Whitcomb, and the Liverpool Five. I'd say that's a pretty stacked show going to the Hollywood Bowl. Gregory Field, did you go to that show?
Nova Snake said he remembers that like it was 1965.
What, that concert?
I guess, yeah. And then Matthew Farmer said, rest in peace, Brian Wilson.
Yes. Rest in peace.
Stop touching with the paper.
No, I'm not trying to touch it. Just trying to show a few things.
I don't
You
care.
don't want kicked out, boy.
I want to go home.
You can go home.
Bye-bye.
Nova Snake said, hello, friends. How you doing, Nova Snake?
How you doing, Nova Snake? Go ahead and take a break.
Nova Zinc, you're my best friend.
Good job.
Stop touching me.
Show them your butcher covers. You're on the way out. So that Polly says from T-Shirt Express, this is a rarities. The inside of the gatefold picture. There's only 3 times that the butcher cover has ever been released
Let me guess.
after the actual picture for a legitimate release. One was the 1980, well, the first was the original butcher cover. The second was the 1980 rarities. The third was the 1987 picture disc out of the United Kingdom for paperback Ryder and Rain. And I guess you go, the fourth would be the stereo 2016 when they released the Capitol stereo albums on CD. So it was the Butcher Cover Slick has been released 4 times, but it's never been released as an album cover since the original. All right, we got where are we at on time?
It is 9:13.
9:13. Go about 10 more minutes. Got any questions? Looks like everybody left the room. I'm here by myself with the director. First pressing of Donovan's Greatest Hits on Epic. And this is a gatefold cover that shows Donovan as a little baby there at the beginning. What is Donovan famous for in the Beatles world? There's a little trivia question for you. What did Donovan do in India of 1968? What little thing did he teach one of the Beatles? This has got my favorite Donovan song on it, Season of the Witch. Anybody out there like Season of the Witch? Got a cool inner sleeves with all Donovan's albums.
Finger
Yeah, that's it.
picking or whatever.
Finger picking, he told it to John Lennon. Abbey Road. Haven't put this up yet on excellent condition. First press, Abbey Road from the United Kingdom, -2, -1 with the apple that's not misaligned. But look at that laminated cover. That is sharp. I'd sell that for $250 if you're interested for it. Put it on my eBay store. It's got to have the dark green label on the first presses.
Patricia said Jennifer Juniper.
Well, he did that song, but the thing he did was famous in Beatles world is that Mellow Yellow. Paul sang background vocal, but he did in India. He taught John Lennon, and I don't know if he taught George Harrison also how to finger pick the guitar. And they used that technique during the White Album. Ooh. Magical Mystery Tour. Sold one last week. Still have 2 more left. Horzu. 1973 and a 1977 on Apple that used the same metalwork. -1 on the A side and -3 on the B side. I listened to side 2 today when I worked out on my mini trampoline, playing my new Macintosh or my refurbished 1972 Macintosh amp preamp amplifier today. Got it fixed at magnetic tape downtown. Took 6 months, but boy, they did a heck of a job. It really sounds good on my this album. Really cranked today. Magical Mystery Tour, the best sounding stereo pressing that exists in the world. If you don't count my Sgt. Pepper Audio 5 and Nimbus Supercut. And that's the 1977 in the import shrink. Both of these are in the import shrink. The Apple one is up on my STICKERMANIA 2853 eBay store. Ringo, I played side 1 of this today on my Macintosh amplifier. I don't know the name of the number yet on that Macintosh. I'll have to memorize it. This is a German pressing from 1977. The Germans had the best mastering equipment for albums in the world at that time, in the late 70s, and they used audiophile vinyl also. They had Neumann lathes. They got the most out of the music. This Ringo album sounds amazing. I'm the Greatest. You can hear John Lennon all over it. Photograph. You can really hear how George intentionally wrote Ringo a #1 song. Sgt. Pepper. Talking about Sgt. Pepper. This is a stereo. -1 tube cut. From 1967. This is probably a 68 pressing because it doesn't have the psychedelic inner sleeve. It's got the Patents inner sleeve. What else have I not shown? Show me that big Peter Frampton poster behind you that I got from Kevin Rick. It's that big poster right there.
Frampton. How old is this? It looks like it's from
1977.
No, it really said 1980s.
Peter Frampton was the #1 artist in the world. Look at the size of this fold-out.
Pastel splatter second evening off.
See if I can do this. This is fragile. I don't want to tear it.
Won't be teared if I help you.
Look at the size. That's about as big as my Shea Stadium photo.
It's as big as my room. It's like,
Peter Frampton at his peak. He's still with us, but he can't. He has to sit down now and to perform.
what's his best song?
So, Carl Wilson, towards the end of his life, when he's performing and he had to sit down in concert, he only got up for one song during the show. I'm sure you guys know what song that was. God only knows.
God only knows that's you. Oh.
Beatles wallet from 1964. A lady wanted this real bad at $200 today, but the best price I'd give her was $222. So Mikey, this is still, Mikey Arugula, this is still available. If you want a mint 1964 standard plastic product. Beatles wallet with all the photos and the comb, no teeth missing, and the nail file and the mirror. Usually a lot of those things aren't still included or been lost over time. Time marches on. There aren't going to be too many groups from the 60s that are going to hold up forever like the Beatles. Maybe the Stones and the Who, and a few of them. Haven't sold this yet in the slipcase by Bruce Spicer, the Beatles story on Capitol Records. That's the slipcase. And volume part 2 is the singles, is the part 1. Both of these I think are signed by Bruce Spicer. Let's see if it's signed. That one is not signed. Part 1, the singles. And part 2 is not signed either. So some people like to get the Bruce Spicer books that are unsigned. That's what you got here. All right. I think that is about it for tonight. We did a sealed reveal. Didn't turn out real good, but see, that's what happens when you buy those albums are sold. We did our Paul McCartney tribute. Check the last video I did with Mikey Arugula, Beatles Every Little Thing Beatles, episode number 8 with Mikey Arugula. I think we got like 300 views on that, so check that out. So thanks a lot for checking us out tonight. Thanks a lot for the trivia question contest winners, all of the interest there and everything. And next time, hopefully I'll have that butcher cover. I'm itching to peel another butcher cover. Haven't done it in like a month or more. Let's see what I can do for next Wednesday.
Have a nice night. Goodbye.
See you later. Thanks.
See ya.